you cannot measure a person just by one frequency because there's so many different gradients, different aspects to what shapes someone's reality and what makes them who they are.
We also measured for this couple, David and Victoria, their relationship compatibility.
Welcome to Vibrational Revelations. My name is Elena.
My name is Alejandro.
Thank you so much for being part of our Vibrational Revelations YouTube channel. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share so people who are seeking for this information can find it much easier. We also want to remind you that at this time, we're running a special offer. And this special offer is more than 60% off for the Vibrational Revelations membership platform from $111 a year. This is where you get access to over 200 episodes from the last 5.5 years library. Plus, we go once a month live in the membership community, diving deep into very controversial topics, which unfortunately cannot be posted on YouTube channel. Plus, we have live discussions. So this way you can meet us, you can talk to us, you can ask questions, and also meet like-minded people from all around the world. Also, as a member, you do receive 25% off. So once you join, there is a community where you take the special discount code and you can apply it towards booking your own vibrational frequency analysis. And all of the digital products are also 25% off. Now, we do know that you have been requesting for Victoria and David Beckham's numbers. And actually, her brand new 3-episode series just came out on Netflix. And of course, I had to watch it. I like her a lot. And I love the products that she makes. I know that her fashion line is clean, but also her makeup and skincare products are so beautiful. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Somebody reminded me, they're like, Elena, can you just reveal their frequency? So I thought, let's do it. So here we are. Let's dive into, before we give you the vibrational frequency numbers again, as a reminder, for those of you that have never heard of what we do, we use scalar wave technology to test the vibrational frequencies and levels of consciousness of pretty much anything and everything, from organizations to people to sacred sites to different modalities, healing modalities, you name it, we've tested it.
Since consciousness is everything and is in everything.
Yes. And the field, or the biofield, is a record keeper of all the information. So therefore, if you know how to extract the information, it's all stored in it. And here we are. So welcome. Now let's dive into Victoria Beckham. She was born Victoria Caroline Adams, April 17th, 1974, in Harlow, Essex, England. She's a fashion designer, businesswoman, and a former pop singer. I'm curious how many of you remember her being a pop singer. She rose to international fame in the late 1990s as Posh Spice of the Spice Girls, the best-selling female group of all time. She also had multiple #1 singles with Spice Girls and later launched a brief solo career with a couple of different singles, which I actually did not know she had a solo career as a singer. She founded Victoria Beckham fashion label in 2008, known for minimalistic elegance and timeless tailoring. Her designs have been showcased at London and New York Fashion Week. Actually, in the Netflix series, she just did a show in Paris. That was very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And she expanded into beauty with Victoria Beckham Beauty, which I absolutely say, I love it, focusing on clean luxury skincare and cosmetics. She's married to a football legend, David Beckham. She married in 1999, and they have 4 children. She evolved from, as I mentioned earlier, from pop icon to respectful designer, symbolizing reinvention, discipline, and enduring style. That was a lot. Like, that's the journey she actually talks about in her documentary, is how for so many years she wasn't taken serious. They thought it was like a hobby. And many people thought it was a hobby and they didn't take her serious. So she's definitely a go-getter. My respects to Victoria Beckham. All right, let's dive into her vibrational frequency signatures. So she incarnated at the frequency of 400, which is a very analytical kind of frequency. She was born at the frequency of 100. So you can see, and this is not our first time explaining this to you, you could see a vibrational frequency drop from incarnation to birth. And this is something common that we often see, 100 being the frequency of worry and fear.
Yes, it's like the norm. I think
For most people,
humans go through that
journey.
Yes.
Her overall vibrational frequency today is 400. And as we've discussed in previous episodes, and Alejandro mentioned it before too, it doesn't mean that her ceiling is 400. And you'll see throughout her revelations today that there are numbers that represent a bigger picture of who she is besides an overall lens. And this is why we often say that you cannot measure a person just by one frequency, because there's so many different gradients, different aspects to what shapes someone's reality and what makes them who they are. So health she views through the lens of 100, which is worry and fear. Connection to mind is 200. Connection to body is 100. And connection to soul is 200. I know that in the series, this was kind of like a nice confirmation, because she talks about how she has this challenging relationship with media, because they've bashed her for so many years. And you could say trauma created trauma for her. And she's had this eating disorder. So that was a nice confirmation to actually see her connection to bodies at 100, and how she's been just either portrayed, they would bash her for being, after giving birth to a baby, as too, she was too heavy or too thin. It's difficult, I think, to be in the spotlight like that. But here you can see these are some of the aspects where she carries resistance. Finances she views through the lens of 310. She's eager there. Creativity, we always talk about creativity is all about what inspires a person, and when they feel inspired, how do they take action? And in her case, it's a frequency of 700, which is a frequency of illumination. So she has this creative spark in her, which all of us do, but not all of us act upon it, right? Mm-hmm. And she does. And this is why I just said a few moments ago, that's a person is not defined by their overall frequency. So you could see that she's living out her great creative essence, and it's showing up in her designs and her beauty products. Relationships, Victoria views through the lens of 175. So I would say there is that shield of holding back as a result, perhaps, of trauma and not trusting the public, maybe. Relationship to self is 200. And relationship to others is 175. So yeah, there is that wall that is there between her and then perhaps trusting people.
Like a reflection of her self defensive mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Personal growth is 500 for Victoria. So it also shows you that this is an individual that is deeply committed to personal growth. She's curious, she's open. And that is a part I wish she talked about, but I think in Netflix series, it was a lot more about her brand and what it meant, right? Like the fashion and the beauty, but deep underneath it, there's a deeply spiritual person. And that's what I wanted to say. Philanthropy is the frequency of 200. Service to self is 200. Service to others is 175. So again, there's that element of like, maybe not trusting completely. Intuition overall is 310, eagerness. Under the intuition aspect, clairaudience is 200, Clairsentience is 200. Clairvoyance is 600. And you can see when it's paired up, her being a visionary, paired up with her creativity, this is where she shines. This is her, you could say, gifts. And her claircognizance is 310. So she's a very creative person. IQ, intelligence, is 200. Her emotional quotient is 310. So you can see she operates more on her emotional intelligence, or she trusts it more. She has less resistance in that area versus the IQ. SQ, social quotient, is 500. Again, this is a level of magnetism. And in her case, charisma, 500. There's something mysterious and you're pulled towards her for whatever reason, right? Whatever that might be in your case. Adversity quotient, when she's being challenged, there is a frequency of 100, that worry and fear. So this is an aspect that we see in most human beings between 50 and 100. It's the most common frequency that we see with adversity quotient. So the fear element kicks in.
One can feel pulled towards her due to her SQ at 500, but you have to prove yourself in order to be able to climb or jump over that wall of the
shield,
the shield of protection that she has when it comes to relationships.
Trusting.
75.
Yeah, trusting. But once you're in, I think.
Once you're in,
you're in.
You're in.
Yes. In the joy, she enjoys her role, 86%, even though she shares about all these struggles she's gone through. In the ego, 96%. And out of that, her inner dialogue is related to her inferior ego at 92%, which is a conversation where a person would say or feel like they're not good enough. So in her case, it's having these perfectionistic tendencies and feeling like whatever she does, it's never good enough, and trying to be better each time. In the now, 88%, self-awareness, 90%, clarity, 96%. So she's clear that she is on her mission in many ways, on her path. Her integrity overall is 97%. Integrity to herself is 96%. And integrity to others is 97%. So she's a person of high integrity, I would say, based on the numbers. Alignment with divine purpose is 98%. So she's so close to be fully 100% aligned with her divine path, but she's on that path. So it's wonderful that she listened to her soul's calling, following her creative spark, and trusting her vision at 700 and going for it.
And that gives you the sense, I would say, that without a doubt, she feels that she is doing what she's supposed to be doing.
At the end, well, because you didn't watch the series, David asked her, would you leave it all and be done with it? And she said, no. My respects to her. Yeah, alignment with personal purpose is 98%. I mean, she could have stayed back, like when David was playing football for different clubs, and she traveled all around to support him, as many wives do. But she knew that there was something deep inside, and she wasn't fulfilled just being at home, raising kids, being a mom, which is not just, it's the biggest role. So all my respects to women that stayed home. But sometimes you have this higher calling, and it's important that you answer the call. And she did. So alignment with personal purpose for Victoria is 98%. So those are very aligned numbers, divine and personal purpose. Her compassion is 100%. Compassion to others, 100%. She's a very compassionate person. And I will say, and her empathy is 100%, very sensitive person. And it's interesting how she's been portrayed in the media as like she never smiles, she's just not happy. But I think ultimately, she does smile. She is happy. And she just has her guard up because of all the trauma that she's gone through with media and paparazzi that wouldn't leave her alone. Exactly. But she's a highly sensitive person. We see she's operating her emotional intelligence a lot more than her intellect.
Mhm.
So compassionate, empathic. All right, next. Energy purity, 98%. So she's embodying that 400 frequency at 98%. And she's experiencing the fifth dimension 36% of the time.
Which
Now,
is
on
linked
to
to her
David.
creativity.
Yes, creativity, her clairvoyance abilities, of course.
Next is David Beckham. Full name is David Robert Joseph Beckham. He was born May 2nd, 1975. 1975 in London, England. He's a former professional soccer player, a footballer, entrepreneur, and global ambassador. His position, while playing soccer, being a footballer, was a midfielder. He played for Manchester United, Real Madrid, LA Galaxy, AC Milan, and Paris Saint-Germain, our favorite
Area.
neighborhood.
Yes.
Our area. He was 6-time Premier League titles, 1-time UEFA Champions League in 1999 with Manchester United, captained the England national team for 6 years in a row. He's renowned for, well known for his precise free kicks, crossing ability, and leadership. He's also the co-owner of Inter Miami CF, which is part of the MLS. Not the multiple listing service, or if any real estate agents or brokers are watching, the MLS is the soccer league. And Salford City FC in England. When it comes to philanthropy, he is a philanthropist with UNICEF, Goodwill Ambassador, and founder of the 7 Fund for UNICEF, supporting vulnerable children worldwide. When it comes to his personal life, as Elena pointed out, married to Victoria Beckham, and they got married in 1999. Together, they became one of the most recognizable couples in the world. I guess both at the top of their games at the time, huh? He's a global icon who bridged sports, fashion, and pop culture, created with redefining the modern athlete as both stylish and socially engaged.
Okay.
It's David Beckham. Well, he incarnated at the frequency of 400. That's the discernment. He was born at the frequency of 100. And his overall frequency, the level of consciousness that he's experiencing at the moment, now, is 310, which is the level of eagerness. He's eager to experience it all. When it comes to the aspect of health, 310. Connection to mind, 310. Connection to body, 250. Connection to soul, 310. Finances, 500. Creativity, 500. So he's also.
I saw he does gardening. I know Victoria posts some things.
That's how he
That's
channels
like,
his
I
creativity.
think so, unless there's something else, but he's amazing at gardening.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Relationships, relationship to self and relationship to others, all three at 200. Personal growth, 400. Philanthropy, 310. Service to self, 310. And service to others, 250. Intuition, 400. And with the intuition, his clairaudience is at 310. Clairsentience, 500. Clairvoyance, 400. And claircognizance, 500. So he's in a state of flow when it comes to his inner knowing. And I'm sure it has, or it is, a very important factor playing a role in his decision-making process. Intelligence quotient, IQ, 200. Emotional quotient, or EQ, 310.
Just like Victoria.
Exactly the same
Mhm.
when it comes to their EQ. Social quotient, 700. So he's also magnetic. So very strong.
Charisma, magnetism.
Right? Adversity quotient, AQ, 200. So if he's faced with challenges, he's
On it.
on it. He grabs the bull by the horns.
I actually just thought about it. His inner knowing, I think, based on his numbers, is very much connected to his finances, which is 500.
And creativity
And
as well.
yes, and perhaps this is also part of his creativity is finances. I don't know enough to, I never dove into his work, like what he's done since he left the football, but I think somehow these are very much connected.
Yes, in that filter of claircognizance, that could be applied on anything in life, all aspects.
Yes, but because they're like the same number.
Yes, but now when it comes to finances and creativity, as you pointed out, they all have the same number. That means, along with clairsentience as well, which it comes in handy when you're playing the sports too. If he's listening, picking up on the signals that his body is.
But he doesn't play anymore.
But right, or he used to play. Next is Indie Joy, 87%. In the ego, 96%. And 81% of that is in the inferior version of the ego. In the now, 85%. So he tends to be more in his head than Victoria. What was Victoria's in the now?
Let me just look at that.
I'm curious.
Let's find her numbers. Her in the now is 88%. So yeah.
So a little bit higher.
Yeah, but similar.
There's so many things that they're dealing with besides personal life or the businesses they're in.
Exactly.
They have the Netflix show, of course, right?
Well, she just did. It's 3 episodes.
But they did have one together.
He had one.
He had one?
Yeah.
I thought I saw her in. Well, she's part of it.
I think so. I don't remember, but I just know I watched
a little bit of it and I saw them both. Self-awareness, 78%. Clarity, 88%.
So she's more clear than he is because her clarity is at 96%. That means she's really walking her divine path. He might be still seeking. What is it that I'm here to do? He wants to redefine himself in some ways, find whatever it is that.
Yeah, that could be the byproduct of the 310 as his overall frequency, that eagerness, wanting to explore it all. And dive into whatever excites him. Now we go to integrity, 86%. overall integrity. Integrity to himself, 96%, and integrity to others or with others is 69%. Alignment with divine purpose, 94%. And alignment with personal purpose, 96%.
One thing I want to say is I thought it was so nice that he supports Victoria and enjoys seeing her shine in the light. You know, he goes and see. I think it's beautiful when you have a partner who supports you on your journey, and it's nice to see that.
Yes, definitely. Compassion, 97%. Compassion to others, 96%. Empathy, 96%. Energy purity, 88%. When it comes to dimensions, measure how much time the person experiences the fifth dimension, and it's for him is 23%. We also measured for this couple, David and Victoria, their relationship compatibility, and is at 96%. So a little bit more compatible, 5 points higher than
The previous couple we reviewed.
Travis and Taylor, who they were at 91%.
Yes. So that concludes today's episode. Thank you so much for being part of Vibrational Revelations. Please make sure that you comment, post, be kind, be nice. And we appreciate you being part of this revelation. Thank you.
Thank you.